Today, we're going to discuss the complete guide to staying confident in a competitive workspace. As you know from my other videos, we're going to review an article and then I will give my comments and feedback in between. Thank you and welcome back. The complete guide to staying confident in a competitive workplace. As far as the workplace is concerned, times are certainly changing. You're no longer confined to a dedicated workspace with specific duties. The employees who are treasured are the ones who contribute the most to the organization. With less jobs available these days, you have to work harder in order to keep yours. And that includes staying on top of your game in a competitive workplace. But that's sometimes easier said than done, and that's because you may not be as confident in your abilities. It could also be that you're unsure if you deserve consideration over someone else. Put all of that self-doubt behind you. That way, you won't have to worry about losing out on opportunities. Try these techniques to stay confident on the job. Number 1, keep your skills current. Stay current on all certifications and highlight your ongoing achievements. When you keep your skills current, they can serve as your face of confidence. It puts you on a level playing field or even above everybody else. Now you just need to show why you're a step above the competition. In most fields, there are usually many courses that can help you earn a more recognized certification. And lastly, consult your company's newsletter. This helps you see the plans that are underway. And with that knowledge, you can start to learn specialized skills that may be needed in the future. I definitely agree with this tip. I do think it's absolutely imperative to stay current, but also just to constantly be learning something new every single day. I was just having a conversation with someone how as adults, I believe that we get bored, right? Because when you're a kid, you're in school, you constantly have projects, you constantly have different things going on and set up in order for you to focus on. So as an adult, that education, those certifications, going for another degree, those kind of things actually end up fueling you and keeping your mind going. My uncle used to say to me, he was like, as soon as you stop learning, you get old. So you want to make sure you're constantly staying current, but also improving yourself. I try to learn something different and new. I kind of have slacked on languages. I used to be really into learning languages. I lived in China for a year. So I used to speak Mandarin, not fluent, but enough for conversation. And I've completely lost that. So you definitely want to find ways to challenge yourself, challenge your mind so that you can have more skills. It definitely adds to your resume. It also connects you to people, different things that you end up the different skills that you take on will connect you to different types of people and is another way to network. Number 2, volunteer for unpopular jobs. Everybody is eager to go after the popular jobs that get a lot of attention. Sure, you can join the gang and do the same, but it's also a good idea to go after the unpopular ones. 1, you never know who's watching. While everybody's eyes are on the prize jobs, there may be one scout watching over the unpopular jobs. Let that scout see you handling things effectively. Another point is you may end up gaining additional skill sets just by going after something off the radar. Another tip is a little gloating doesn't hurt. If you've done something worth recognition, it doesn't hurt to point it out. Certainly, you don't want to be fooling around. You don't want to be tooting your own horn all day, but a little goes a long way. And then lastly, the author adds that in a team effort, certainly everyone's contribution should be highlighted. If you aren't recognized on a project, find a creative way to get the word out about your personal contribution. Absolutely. I think this actual tip encompasses a couple of things, right? So first it talks about volunteering for the unpopular job. Then it talks about how you're putting yourself out there by volunteering for that unpopular job. You're getting yourself noticed, which is mentioned in my book, The Great Promotion. where I discuss how I actually got 4 promotions in 6 months and a bonus at my work from home job. But and then the last thing it points out is that if you aren't recognized on a project, find a creative way to get the word out about your personal contribution. So and I know we're not talking about promotions today. We're simply talking about how to stay confident. But in the confidence, how does this build your confidence? When you volunteer for unpopular jobs, and it's like if you have someone watching you that you're not expecting to be watching you, that's another way. When you're getting noticed, you're getting critiqued, you're getting feedback, right? And it's definitely easier to give feedback, which I also talk about in my book. It's definitely easier to give feedback on those unpopular jobs because of the fact that they're more eager to give information because you took on something that no one else wanted to work on. I definitely have done this. It's kind of my thing. I'm always rooting for the underdog. I'm Miss Fix-It, you know what I mean? I'm definitely the business renovator. So I am very good at identifying the jobs that other people don't want to do. And I find that in them is a very important role that you're playing. So I like this tip. It's interesting because it goes back to me. For me, it goes back to talking about getting a promotion, although the topic today is staying confident. And I actually wanted to talk about this because when I'm coaching people, I'm very, very cautious of damaging their confidence because your confidence is important in order for you to stay motivated for a job, in order for you to want to wake up and roll over, to open the computer, to get started, you know. So your confidence is very important. So I'm really enjoying this. So that was tip number 2. And now we go to tip number 3. It says, put your strengths on display. And this is how you stay confident. So you might be hired as an account executive, but you could have great accounting skills. They won't know until you tell them. On an occasion, you can send an email to your department head, advise them of your availability to assist on a project unrelated to your field. That's a subtle way to say, hey, I'm good at this too. You can also volunteer for projects whenever possible. Be sure that you have the skill set needed to do an effective job. The company always takes note of skills on display, especially at a crucial time for the business. I definitely agree with that. And then lastly, if you know you have an innate skill that sets you apart from everybody else, show it. Definitely. I think this is kind of an extension of the volunteer for unpopular jobs. When you're showing off your skills or, for the longest, even at the position that I have now, it wasn't until I applied for the last position that I even put all of my education on my resume. I usually don't express all that information, but now I do, and I did, and that started from when I applied for the last position that I applied for. So you definitely want to show off your stuff. I know sometimes for myself, prior to this, I was afraid to kind of let people know how smart I am and how many things I've actually done, because it does kind of put a target on your back. Or even from law school, we would often joke about, don't tell your family you're a lawyer, because then everybody comes to you asking for your legal advice, you know. So I do understand sometimes we want to kind of hide our candlelight, but when it comes to, you know, kind of, again, promotion, or just kind of like just building up your confidence, give yourself a pat on the back by honoring and admitting the things and great things that you've done, right? Sometimes that self-talk is the most important, right? And from that self-talk is how you start to let everybody else know, like, hey, this is me. And so, that just kind of, you need to let your candlelight shine, you know. Not saying that you get kind of braggadocious or anything like that. I mean, even I was speaking with someone and they were saying something about, I told her, I said, speak up. Never be afraid to speak up, even if it's my meeting. Speak up. And she says, well, I didn't want to butt in and take over your meeting or anything like that. And I said, I definitely don't have that type of ego, like we're all here to learn together. We're all a team. I love being able to bring out other people's strengths. I love that that's my gift and talent in this world. So I love to encourage people to do more, like, we're here to make mistakes. We're here to learn. And you only honestly, most times, learn from your mistakes. Something about as we get older in life, we kind of run from making mistakes and we start playing it safe, And so I'm not saying that you should, go off and jump off a cliff and see if you can fly, but you definitely want to always give yourself a pat on the back. Please stay confident and believe in yourself, because the more confidence you have in yourself, the better the work is when you approach a job. Like when you know that you got it. I just feel like the work just is of greater, what is that? What is the word I'm looking for? Your confidence substantiates your worth. That's what it is. It's like when you understand who you are and you approach that job, you just knock it out. And then the last point that the author makes is give 100% effort. Even when you're not feeling confident, give it everything you have. The effort that you put into your job displays commitment and interest in the company. So as you see, staying confident in a competitive workplace isn't that difficult. Rely on your natural abilities. They can definitely speak for themselves if you give them a voice. This article was a little bit choppy, right? And I think it kind of touched more on if you want a promotion, how to showcase yourself if you want a promotion. But I did enjoy reading it, and I do think that it definitely has a lot of good content inside of it for us to know how to stay confident in a competitive workplace. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Welcome to my page. I am so happy to have you here today. And I hope that you enjoy. Of course, feel free to like, share, or comment on the video, as well as follow to get notifications for when I upload any new information. And also the link is in the bio where you can find all of the products that I would like to share with you on how to advance in your career. Some of you may know, and if you're new to my page, you do not know that I did recently release a book called The Great Promotion, where I discuss how I was promoted 4 times in 6 months and received a bonus while working from home. And so my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Welcome.